This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. Well, you know, it's me and my only friends. And my sidekick is in the motherfucking building ready to work today. Look at him. He has nothing in his hands, no phone, no water bottle. He's just out here ready to get it poppin'. What's poppin', sidekick?
I'll let it slide. I'll lean into this one for you, big guy. You know, you lost the Tortue bit. I'll roll with it. It's okay. I'll be your sidekick.
You've always been my sidekick.
You would rather be the sidekick than
not even close.
than have the Tortue bit.
Not even close.
Wow.
It's like not even same spectrum.
Yeah.
There are some responsibilities that come with being the head honcho, though.
No. There's responsibilities that come with the sidekick.
No.
The head honcho is the one that this is the delegation. That
Okay.
delegates the responsibilities.
That's fine. That's fine.
Well, no, listen, this conversation's over. I understand what goes on here. You just need to calm your ass down, all right, sidekick? Calm down, buddy. Calm down.
I'm very open to you delegating responsibilities. Why don't you make a list?
Hold on, let me copy and paste the one you sent me.
Hey guys, it's Big Brother premiere day.
What?
Let's go. Who's excited?
No one.
Cricket.
God, you
Literally
guys.
no one.
It's literally the best show on TV. The best show on TV.
Rappo, cue up the crickets.
Oh my God, you guys got to get into it. It's so good.
We do have to get Guapo a soundboard.
That is true. Never thought about that.
Maybe we make I think if we get him a soundboard, we need one similar to like the emotes in the chat where we give him all the custom sounds.
That's true.
You know, not just like a generic soundboard. I mean, he could Google one of those. That's
I think if you
whatever.
really gave Big Brother a chance, if
Come
you
on,
like
bro.
binge watched it, you would.
I watched the Vanessa Russo
You
season.
didn't know you didn't.
Yeah, I
you
did.
watched. You watched like 3 episodes in the middle of the season.
No,
Yes.
I watched her cry like a dozen times.
Yeah.
Where is
that
Vanessa
happened
Russo,
a
by
lot.
the way? She just
I think she
disappeared.
was,
was
in
a
the
good
East
player,
Coast. She's married, has a family.
I'll give
not
you
in
a
poker
season to
anymore.
watch.
She's a DJ now.
I'll give you a season to
DJ?
watch. Season 14.
No.
Yes, it's so good. You'll be hooked.
You want to know?
You'll have a shirt on next summer. You'll
I'm
be
happy
wearing
you're
this
excited
shirt.
for Big Brother. You know what I'm excited for?
What?
The new Naked and Afraid season.
The-
They're on a stranded island. They got there's like 20 of them. They got to survive on a
I would watch
raft.
that. Yeah.
You know what I'm excited
for?
for?
That.
Nobody cares about this bullshit.
No, man. Naked and Afraid on a raft?
No. The new season of fucking Suits just dropped.
What?
I never got into
Suits.
Suits.
You never
me
watched
either.
Suits?
No.
You guys are all fucking useless.
To be
I only
fair,
watch- I only watch reality
Suits.
TV.
Yeah, to be fair, the reason why I like shows like Naked and Afraid is because it's something that I'll put on in the background while I'm falling asleep.
It's so crazy how like all of us all watch TV to a certain extent. None of us watch the same shit.
Yeah,
At
I was
all.
gonna say
Yeah.
I watch a different naked show on YouTube that Melissa got me hooked on. That European.
We watched it on
Oh
Christmas.
my God.
What is it called?
It's
It's
a British show.
It was literally Christmas. I look up and there's fucking dicks on the TV. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on
It's
here?
hilarious. It's so good.
It's man, what is the name of
The
it?
premise is you get to choose who you want to date by looking at their naked bodies.
Yeah,
Yes.
they start from they start from feet up, which
Yeah.
is crazy. How does it not go from head down?
no.
Nah.
No, like
I can understand.
Like the lady on stage is just like immediately inundated with dicks. It's just like the first thing she sees are like 6 cocks, and then she has to eliminate one based off of their cock.
Well,
Yeah.
Off their flaccid penis, you have to decide to get rid of one of them.
From this point forward, keep saying penis. By the way,
Why?
I don't know. It just seems so aggressive when you say cock.
It's a very aggressive show.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be advantageous to get a little chubbed, or do you think
See,
that
the
would
thing
like
is
skeeve her out?
I understand production, and I know how long they're standing up there.
Yeah.
It's like you would literally have to be like in front of all the production guys.
I
and
mean, you're already kind of in front of all the production guys.
I mean, what do you just like flick it a couple times? Like, I don't know, man. It just seems strange.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you know, maybe Maybe once the shield slides up the rest of the way, you don't got a whole lot working for you, and you want to be a little bit more.
You could helicopter a little bit.
All right, so back to Big Brother. Did you guys see the cast for Big Brother yet? Or
Were they helicopter?
helicopter.
No.
How is this show still on? Show's
25. This is the 25th season.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything though. They run like 3 a year.
No, they do not.
Well, they don't run one a year.
They run one a year.
No way Big Brother's been on for 25 years.
It's been on since 1999.
Come on.
Yes.
The Simpsons haven't even.
Yes.
Yeah, they have.
Simpsons has been
They've
on since
for
the
like
80s.
35 years.
I was gonna say, relax.
Big Brother's been on for almost 25 years.
I mean,
24 years.
that's insane. So is Survivor, but
Yeah.
Survivor for sure does more than one season a year.
Does
Survivor definitely does more.
anyone
Survivor's on like season 40 or
watch
something.
Big Brother here. I'm just trying to
Start a poll?
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask.
I'd actually want to know. I would think it's maybe we'll probably get like 20%, 30%.
You know what? I'll
The
start a
Poker
poll.
World
Okay.
watched when Vanessa was on.
Yeah, I think that's what got some
She
people
was
into
good,
it.
too. She was very
She was
good.
definitely good. She could have won. She did a couple things, but like I think overall she was a really, really good player.
What are the cliff notes? Why was she crying so much?
That's
I think it's part of her.
manipulation,
I think it was
obviously.
it's part of her strategy. It's part of her strategy to get sympathy and
She went the Liv Marie route.
Liberty.
So Liv Marie, I saw that she got heads up in some game show where she like basically convinced this guy that she was going to split the money with him.
Oh yeah.
Split or Steal.
Split or Steal. Yeah.
It's a prisoner dilemma game. And she understood
Yeah.
the prisoner dilemma better than that guy.
Right. She
Yeah.
definitely
Wow.
Yeah, it
Owns
was
his ass.
pretty
Yeah,
fucking
she
This is
owns his
fucking
ass.
great.
Yeah.
I love seeing poker players put into these kind of like games because you can like they usually excel because they
You
have
know,
that.
Kmart won the Canadian version.
Kmart, yeah, correct, right. Kmart won the Canada one.
Party?
I've never seen it. I want to watch it.
That doesn't really count though.
Yeah, of course it counts.
Nah,
What?
it's Canada. It's like
Yeah, nothing-
1/10 of the United States version.
I mean, nothing counts in Canada.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I assume the competition is just as
Well,
good.
with the conversion rate, you know, it's like getting fourth place here.
Guess got shit all over Kmart's win, huh? Damn.
Well, there's a conversion rate. You
Yeah.
know, it's like fourth place in America.
Right. It's like the best baseball player in Europe is not going to be the best baseball player in.
Yeah,
They even
but
play
the best
baseball
player
in Europe.
the best baseball player in Japan, however,
There you
will
go.
be the best baseball player everywhere.
Yes, and his name is Shohei Ohtani.
It
and
is.
he's
He didn't get
an
moved.
Animal. No, he didn't. I didn't think they
well,
would.
they picked up a bunch. They got CJ
I
Cron.
saw-
They got Randall
I saw they
Gerchek.
made some
Yeah.
moves,
They got a couple players from.
but they're dead in that
league.
division.
Verlander's back.
Verlander's back with the
Astros.
Stros and was
Well,
it?
the Rangers got Austin Hedges, so they're going to be
No, the
right
Rangers
in it.
But the
Rangers
Rangers
are-
got either was it Scherzer or
Rangers got Scherzer.
Rangers got Scherzer.
Syndergaard?
They got
Scherzer.
Scherzer. And they got
Okay.
Austin Hedges.
I don't know who that is.
You're an idiot. He was the starting catcher for the Pirates the entire season.
That doesn't make me an idiot.
It makes you not a Pirate fan, but that's fine. Yeah, and he was awful, absolutely awful.
Bro, name me the. First of all, well, I won't say I'll outperform you in this, but I'll do just as well as you in this trivia. But name me the Pirate catchers dating back to Mike LaValliere.
Mike LaValliere. God.
All right, good
Well,
thing
what-
that this
we're
conversation's
talking
over.
about current things.
Right.
But I mean,
I'm
I can name
just
a lot
saying.
of them. Don Slott,
Sluggo.
Cervelli, Russell Martin, Jason Kendall.
Okay, he got Kendall. It doesn't matter.
Let's
So-
see. Yeah, it's tough.
So the Angels are only 5.5 games back, but
But that division's hard.
they have Texas and Houston ahead of them.
Who both just made big.
Yeah.
Some big trades,
Big
but
trades.
also
But I think the Angels are going for a wild card more likely, right?
I don't think with the East, right? Isn't the East just
The
stacked?
Yankees are,
Yeah, I guess they
not
have-
doing
bad.
great.
Yeah, that's true.
we're 3.5 games behind.
Where?
Back in the wild.
Where?
Yeah, he's a Yankee fan.
I don't care.
Fuck are
I
you
mean, he's
talking
a
about?
Yankee/Reds fan.
Oh, I'm obviously a Reds fan nowadays.
The Angels are 3 games back in
in
the
the wild card,
card.
yeah. I think they have a chance, man. Especially since what's his name hasn't been playing. They've been
got
playing good.
Well, Trout's out for the season, right?
Is it the season?
I thought so.
Oh,
it?
okay.
I
If
don't
he's
know
out,
about
if he's
that.
out for the season, they're
I thought he was
fucked.
coming back.
I thought he was coming back too, but
Wait, what's his injury? I thought he broke his arm or some shit.
1
I
second.
guess if he broke his arm, he could come back. That's more likely than like a torn ligament.
Yeah, if you break your arm, if you break a wrist, Depends on what kind of
You've
bone it is.
never been the same.
No, I really haven't. I really haven't.
Shattered your major league career dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Who? Oh my God. This just reminded me of something. Someone. Oh, I know who it is. I won't call him out because that would be mean. Especially because I heard it secondhandedly. But someone told me when we were playing at Bellagio the other day, they were like, yeah, so-and-so told me that he thought he could have been a major league player and just chose not to. And I'm like, could you imagine?
Is this a famous
Choose
poker
not
player?
to.
Yeah.
Cash guy, tournament guy?
Both. It doesn't. You're not gonna guess. You'll literally never guess. But like, imagine the gumption in believing that you had what it takes to play in the MLB.
Ah, it was Torelli.
No. Imagine you
I
had.
mean, I know Eric Baldwin was good, but he's not.
No, that's the thing. Like Baldwin actually was
He
good
was
and
good,
knows
yeah.
that he couldn't
No,
play
he
the
was
Wait,
MLB.
Baldy?
He
Yeah.
was very good. He won a D3 championship.
That's why they call him Basebaldy, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just figured it out. Yes.
There's a handful of us that have college baseball experience.
Where-
Shannon Shore played
Wait.
college ball.
They were good, right?
Yeah.
Unlike.
I'm third all time in strikeouts in my college. I
What?
was a pitcher, by the way. In case that wasn't obvious.
I'm glad you clarified.
That's great.
You're lucky you hopped on that before I did.
I saw the look in your eyes.
I was like, oh, baby. I don't know what to say. It's so good.
I also may or may not have been third all time in blocks
Yeah.
as a pitcher.
So on,
You're a polarizing kind of guy.
I was a 3-2 kind of guy.
so on May 18th, they said he would be out for 6 to 8 weeks. But it looks like on July 28th, they said he has a back spasms that he's going to be dealing with for the rest of his career. So I'm not sure what.
Rest of his career? Jesus Christ. Guys supposed to be back by the All-Star break and then
chronic
suddenly
back
they're like,
spasms. What are you gonna do? How's that Big Brother poll going?
Oh shit!
not well.
No, I don't think it's looking good.
Not
5%?
You're doing real good over here on the ladder.
13%.
Exactly
13%?
how we thought it would be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen to the audience of the Only Friends podcast. Do yourself a favor. Start watching Big Brother.
All right, so jokes aside, I had this idea and I pitched it, and I'm hesitant to say it on air, but I don't care. I don't need the credit. I just want to see it actually happen.
Okay.
I think that with all these new stream games that are popping up, it makes a lot of sense if you want to separate yourself from the field to become more of a reality-esque type TV show. But basically what I'm getting at is, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think stream houses generally lack vision, right? When it comes to like the big picture product that they're trying to put out. I'll say that as much guff as I give Hustler for their setup and the security and stuff like that.
They get it when it comes to
I
this
think
stuff.
Ryan
Yeah.
had a vision and he executed on it, and that's the reason why they're as popular as they are. And I think they've done a
They've
good job.
created characters.
Yeah. I think you can take it much, much, much further. And if I were a stream house like Bally's Big Bet or any one of these Texas card house rooms that are trying to pop up a stream, I would consider the following. Less applicable to PokerGo because they're kind of like made for TV, just pop up games. Like they already have No Gamble, No Future, high stakes poker. They don't really need to go the route of like what I'm saying.
And they
But-
also have big names that draw.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Right. They're already kind of like their own subsection of reality TV.
Yeah, you're talking about people that are unknown almost.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like when you're consistently streaming 3 to 5 days a week, every single week, you need something to grab people and retain them for the long term, right? Because why would I tune in every single Thursday if it's not building towards something, right?
Right.
So I pitched this
You
idea.
need a climax, a conclusion.
I pitched this idea, and I actually think it's a really good one. And it's to have one day a week that is a Survivor game.
I've been saying this forever. Go.
So you start with a pool of players. Let's call it, I don't know, 15 people or something along those lines, right? Or maybe it's only even 9. I'm not really sure. I haven't fully fleshed out the logistics. And to be fair, I don't really understand Survivor all that well. I've maybe watched 2 seasons, but I get the basic template. Mm-hmm. So you start with a pool of players. Let's call it 9 for the sake
It's
of
similar
simplicity.
to Big Brother, how the structure works out well.
Yeah.
Voting people off.
And then every hour you have, every show rather, you have a challenge and then the idol ceremony. which is the template of Survivor, right? So you have a challenge for immunity and then an idol ceremony. Now, I think the way that you want to bring the viewers
you mean
in...
I don't think idol ceremony is the correct term, but yeah, I get
whatever.
What you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Where they go to the idol, or
it's the
torch thing.
Whatever.
I thought I thought it was. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, whatever. You have the vote off thing, right? So I think the way that you can do it is you can bring the audience in as well, where you start each show with the vote, right? And the audience has the opportunity to provide immunity to someone between the weeks, right?
I like that.
So you can create very easy immunity challenges within the structure of the game, whether it's something as simple as VPIP or something
7 deuce.
Yeah, you could create a bounty hand that if you win with it, it's immunity. Like, there are a million different sub games that you can create, and I think that that's actually the most interesting aspect of it. Finding derivatives of the game that we're accustomed to playing and working it in for like 30 minutes or something like that.
It's just basically all the sub games that are in like Bellagio.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
You could play like Win the Button. You could play like
all of them.
Double War Bomb Pots for a half hour, whatever it is, and eventually like you just have a winner, right?
You would have challenges as well, though, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what these would be.
Okay.
Right. So you have like 30 minutes every show that is the challenge section of the show.
I would like the challenges to as much as possible not be based off of luck. So like a certain hand you win with, it's like kind of based on luck. You got to be down it, you got to win with it. But VPIP is not. Right. You can VPIP, right? That there's no luck there. So like I
you want there to be a control element, but you still want there to be variance.
Yeah, I guess some variance, but like if it's going to be a challenge, then I want it to be an actual challenge. Not just luck your way into winning the challenge.
Right. So like, say you do a half an hour of Double War Bomb Pots, and whoever wins the most number of Double War Bomb Pots instead, or rather than like cumulative total of dollars, because you win the big one.
Then you just win it.
Then you just win it, right? But like maybe it's the cumulative total, whatever. There's a million different ways that you could structure the challenges. There's just like a lot of sub games that you can work into your normal game. So that 30 minutes is basically played for immunity and dollars. Of course, you're still playing for dollars, but you're playing for your immunity, right? So now someone comes out of that and they know for a fact that they won't be voted off because they have immunity, or perhaps they can, leverage the immunity or exchange the immunity for something else with another player in the game. Like, you could create other sub strategies in that regard as well, because you know that the audience is going to also provide immunity to one person between the weeks. And then you start the next show with somebody being voted off.
Maybe the big winner should be exempt. Somebody just put that in chat. I don't think that's a bad idea. The biggest winner of the game can just be exempt from being
Well, you don't
off.
want to give immunity to too many people. Maybe you could. I guess you could. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Because you're trying to create action on the show.
Yeah, of course.
This is genius. I just want to let you know, every cash game I've ever played, I've always suggested, if I'm there for a while, why don't we just play Survivor and just kick somebody off the fucking table every hour?
Right. So it's like
so great.
So here's the other thing. Like, say you start with a 9-player pool. Now it's a 9-week challenge, right? So you know that the show is going to run for 9 weeks.
It played down to like a heads up.
Yeah, you get different formats. So now you have a 9-handed game week 1, 8-handed week 2, all the way down to heads up.
Yeah, and then they could even and it could also you alongside the cash game that you're playing, everyone puts in a buy-in, right? And then
something would have to be played for.
Yeah, right. And winner take all, or maybe the top two get the prize.
So something would certainly have to be played for to incentivize
so it's like a
the
tournament
3-handed play,
into,
the heads up play, and stuff like that.
Can we produce this downstairs?
I was about.
This is fucking. I love
Yeah.
every moment of this. This is great. I love games and the inner. So
I just think that this is the direction that streamed cash games need to go if they're gonna operate with the volume that they currently are. Because right now we have available to us somewhere in the neighborhood of what I would guess to be 500 episodes a year of streamed cash games.
Ooh,
and it might be more. It might be
definitely
more.
more than that.
It might be more. I'm not sure how often the Lodge runs.
4 days a week.
Okay, so Lodge runs 4 days a week. Hustler on average probably runs 4.5 days a week.
Yeah.
So you're
That's
looking
400 right there. Over 400.
Now,
No,
let's not forget
more, right?
19 fucking Texas places.
Well, 4 a week is 200.
52 times 4.
And
Oh
then,
yeah. So it's a little, it's over 400 a week, or sorry, over 400 a year between just those 2 stream houses.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have another 3 to 5 Texas streams. You have Bally's Big Bet. Bally's
Night in
Commerce
America.
is going to be coming out again. Poker Night in America, and then you have the additional 50 to 100 streams that PokerGo does.
Right.
Granted, those aren't live streams, but maybe a separate subcategory. Anyway, my whole point is like we have somewhere in the neighborhood of like 500 games to watch, and that's not even including like the highly produced stuff like Triton and PokerGo, which might be another like 150. So it's like nothing is really demonstrating any separation in the marketplace, and what ends up happening is there's no monopoly because the viewership's divided, but there will eventually be a winner, and these other smaller streams will either have to give up or adjust. And it's like the way to win, in my opinion, is to constantly innovate, right? So it's like if you can become I don't know, like something in between a game show and a reality show, something where there's a hook, right? Like there's a clear hook with this. Same thing with Poker Out Loud. Like Poker Out Loud would be great for a format like this. The difficulty is that you can't really do it without like some level of trust.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you could, but like to produce it would be very expensive to make it like bulletproof where the players in game couldn't gain any sort of edge. And even still then, there's probably like an element of oversight necessary to ensure that everything's on the up and up. But like innovating in this space, I think, is so necessary at this point because it's just going to get drab. You can't rely on the 3 basics that we've talked about ad nauseum. You can't just rely on players, table talk, and commentators. Like that's just, at some point, we've seen it all. Right. And that's kind of what happened with ESPN in the World Series. At some point, they were just like, look, we've packaged this for 15 years. We've done it all and the viewership is dropping.
Yeah.
We just can't do this any longer.
Remember I said I was looking for a project?
Sure.
I think this is it.
This it?
I think I'm going to flesh this out somehow, some way in the next couple weeks. There could be a prize at the end of it. And I think we have something here.
Well, what do we have? We don't.
I think we have.
We don't
TV
run
show.
a live stream.
We don't need to. We can just run a TV show almost.
For what?
Like
what's the distribution? Where do we get anything out of this?
We'll figure that out.
No, we won't. That's the thing.
You can't get anything out of it?
No. I mean, if I could get something out of it, I would sell Poker Out Loud to somebody to distribute. But like, who are the distributors? It's exactly PokerGo.
Netflix.
No, it's not. No, they don't want anything to do with this shit. So it's like PokerGo and then like OTT channels, which is where like Poker Night in America and Bally's Big Bet are largely broadcast. And then I guess like maybe CBS Sports, but it's all buried, like there's no money in it. Yeah. It's not like you could ever get a big deal out of CBS Sports to produce this type of show.
It's so good.
The funny part is
good idea.
And also like the other thing is all we would do is prove the concept. And then somebody that already has an established relationship with these outlets or whatever, like Poker Night in America or PokerGo or Bally's Big Bet, they would just take it and just do it themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's that's the irony is that they could just any one of them could just do this anyway, but like none of them are choosing to innovate in any capacity.
Yeah,
they're just fire up the stream, get 9 players, run it. Pray
they all show up.
try to get a 30-second clip out of it that goes viral, and then hope that more people show up the following week. Yeah. It's like there's something to, we know the formula. There is something to bringing in characters, having them be mainstays, developing those relationships, and putting on an entertaining game of poker. But it's so level 1, right? Like we're not in the Guy Lebert or Guy Liberté high stakes poker landscape any longer. Like that was so novel back then. Right. Nobody watched gambling. Nobody had seen high stakes gambling before. But like we have now. A lot of it.
A lot.
And it gets a little old. And the crazy thing is like when you think about the comparisons like Road Rules, the Challenge or whatever, something like Big Brother, Survivor. These shows have been on for fucking decades.
Yeah.
They don't change that much.
No.
But they innovate a little bit along the way.
Yeah,
always.
they always like do something a little bit more, kind of keep it fresh. They switch up a little things. The twist is always different, But like, it's a formula that works, so they just keep repeating it. People keep coming back. I'm keep coming back. I can't wait, right? Like so, yeah. I mean, if they could, figure out a way to do this, and it took off. I mean, who knows where? It would definitely bring new people in, I think.
Yeah. Whether it brings new people in or not, like I think that at some point, my whole point of this is that you need a retention product.
Mm-hmm.
You just running a stream every Thursday is not the key to retention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think another area where a lot of this could be tested, so to speak, or maybe let's just talk about, or let me reframe it and say another part of the industry that needs a desperate new set of eyes on it is streaming. Live streamers have just gotten kind of, I don't want to say complacent, but like they're very cookie cutter carbon copies of one another. There just isn't all that much that separates everybody below Lex. It's like Lex and then like everybody else, right? And if you look at Lex, he is trying to innovate. Like what he's doing with his YouTube channel, I haven't been paying that close of attention to, but I know whenever he announced it, like I was really excited for all the plans that he had in work. He literally had like a production schedule lined up. Like, okay, Tuesday through Sunday, these are going to be my hours. These 3 days of the week are reserved for pre-recorded videos. This day of the week is reserved for training. These days of the week are reserved for my live streams. I have a whole new studio, and like, it's following like a true YouTuber's template. Like when you look at other channels outside of this industry, I follow like a lot of weird stuff, like engineers that create stuff. I just watched the coolest video where this engineer created a rotary machine that held 2 baseball bats on it. And it was able to get them up to 200 miles an hour to see if they could hit the furthest home run ever. And,
that's amazing.
The end result was they hit a ball 700 feet.
What?
It was sick.
Oh my god!
It was actually sick.
A baseball,
to watch.
an actual baseball.
Yeah,
Mythbusters. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
yeah.
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters
It was incredible.
awesome.
Bowling ball so damn far it went through someone's house and almost killed.
Oh, I
someone.
remember that in San Francisco. Yeah. Yeah, that was like
something went wrong. Their math was off.
That was
and
their one black eye. They shot a bowling ball out of a cannon, and it ended up in like somebody's living room.
Yeah, it ended up going like 5 or 6 times farther than they had calculated,
Really?
and
Yeah.
it went through someone's house.
Got to carry the one.
That's me, man. That is me to the fullest.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about streams, let's get a little bit into some of the poker that's going on right now. First is today's final table with the Venom.
Yes.
And
it
speaking
is.
of streamers, I do believe Ape Styles will be. I know he streamed up until this point.
Yeah, he
he's
did
streaming
stream.
the final table.
I think he is. I mean,
I would imagine so, right?
He streamed up to this point. It seems like it'd be silly not to stream the final table as well.
Yeah, what are they playing for? Cool mill?
1.57.
Wow, and that's with an overlay?
That is with an overlay of 664 with the rake.
Jeez.
Wait, 600,000 overlay?
Yeah, it's like 600. I think 664 with the rake. It was overlaid.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have played.
No, you should have played. Pretty absurd. There's a couple people at the final table. Ape Styles, Brandon Lulov, I believe. It's the kid that you got heads up with in Florida.
Okay, in the 5K.
Yep, and no, it was the 30K.
No. It was
It was a 5K? Oh, I'm sorry. I remember you telling me it was you were.
it was the 30K for me.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Hey, that was a testament to resilience. You know what? I take back everything I said yesterday. If you're resilient and you just keep showing up,
right.
God damn it, good things will
The
happen.
hustle, baby, the grind.
That was Emma. That was all Emma.
That was Emma.
And that was nothing to do with you.
She patted me on the back, consoled me, and said, "Give it one more try."
Did you turn a profit in that tournament?
Yeah, just barely.
Anyway, Brandon Lulov, or I think that's his name, has like 235 big blinds. He's
Seems like a lot.
absolutely cruising. Hooney's coming in third. Let's see. And I believe Michael Perrone is one of Young Hoodie, but I don't know anybody else there.
Didn't Amo go deep in this?
He did. He got, I want to say like top 20, somewhere in the top 20.
Oh, top 20 is good.
That's pretty good.
No.
6-figure payday?
Oh, no 6-figure till I want to say 11th.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
still pretty good. 11th place pays 6 figures. The payout structure seems like it's pretty good. So 1.5 million for the winner.
Yep.
600,000 overlay? What was the guarantee? 10?
10 million, yes.
Jesus.
It's
how
what?
rich is fucking Nagy, man?
Not as much anymore.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
600K might just be a drop in the bucket.
He's 600K less rich than he was.
I think Nagy's just the richest, maybe.
He might be.
He might just be, you know. We don't know, but he might just be, man. He's got fucking 90 horses in Triton right now.
Bro, it's never been a better time to be an ACR pro than right fucking now.
Yo, these motherfuckers
They're
are
like-
having competitions for 100K packages?
Yeah, they're just like, they're out there like getting put into events that they're drawing dead in and cashing.
That's
That's
the goal.
I thought Nacho was an ACR guy.
Nachito.
Yeah. Nacho's doing
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I would probably say
Nacho cancels out Moneymaker.
I would probably say Nacho's getting smashed.
No, Nacho's actually been doing pretty
he's
well
had a
in
good
these Triton
year.
tournaments. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure recently Nacho's been getting smashed after the previous Triton.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he made a final table yesterday,
Yeah.
I think.
I think he final tabled to 60K.
Yeah.
He won the one in Vietnam. Didn't he win one?
He won a bunch.
Yeah.
He's having a very good year.
Yeah.
He got third in the PCA or second in the PCA.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
For
right. Yeah.
like 1.5.
Yep.
Yeah, he's won multiple events. He might not be up a pile because his buy-ins are fucking outrageous.
Yeah, as
but
I say, that's what I was thinking.
he's also
like,
probably free rolling most of the buy-ins per his contract.
yeah, maybe. I mean, his buy-ins are pretty big, and I don't think he did anything during WSOP, and that happens.
You're allowed to brick for 45 days. It's
I
okay.
know, trust me.
It's okay.
That's what I tell myself every day.
It wasn't the
It's
60K.
okay.
Koon won the 60K.
I don't think he won it. I think he final tabled.
No,
it.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't think he was at that one.
Okay.
Maybe he was though, but that was Dan Smith, Saliba,
oh yeah,
Koon,
you're right.
Matthias,
Rodrigo.
Ivey, the goat,
God, man, you saw the hand.
the diaper.
Oh. Listen, he's
Shout out to Rigsby. He's got fucking Ivy fucking people with the diaper out there.
I think Rigsby's might be coaching Ivy. Maybe that's what's happening.
He put my man Leon in the
Big
fucking
blind.
in the bag.
Occasionally, bottom of range, likes to pop it. Oh, and this is just exactly what Sturm had in mind, and he certainly could continue to slow play this one, Maria.
Ivy definitely understands there's going to be some traps here as played. Not so much board coverage on this texture from Sturm, who comes with the lead. It's just so tricky.
But of course, Ivy with a piece, will flat. Pot grows to 590. Now a heart on the turn. Sturm's got that all covered.
Checking over to Ivy.
This is slippery.
You look at SPR, it's less than half.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
And this is less than optimal. As the most innocent looking of river cards, the deuce of spades comes on the back end of a check back from Phil Ivey. Slow play disaster.
Sturm leaving himself with one chip, and you see that wry smile. Oh,
Yeah, he recognizes that in all likelihood, that snap jam from Ivy spells disaster for the pocket aces.
I got to tell you, man. That hand is above my pay grade.
The biggest bet throughout that whole hand was pre-flop.
Correct. So for anybody who may have not caught everything that was going on there, they started the hand 6.5 big blinds effective. Leon
deep
as fuck. Leon limps the aces, which I assume is pretty fucking good.
Yes. That's what you should do.
Can't really mess up the aces. And Ivey elects to go nearly 3x with the 3 deuce when there's 6.5 big blinds effective.
Wait, correct me if I'm
not
wrong.
questioning the GOAT here. Go on.
Leon was big blind, right?
No.
Oh.
That's what I thought too when we were talking about it earlier, pre-production, and then I just realized when I was watching it now.
He limped.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Ivey was big blind.
Yeah. So, look, in these spots, you have to find a little bit of trash to try to, steal the pot with. And usually you want to go with a high-low candidate, but maybe that's not true when you're only 6.5 blinds effective. Because, if you have king deuce, you might just have to fucking call it off. Because, king high is good. And you're probably just either jamming or checking, those types of hands. I'm not studied in this spot. Maybe it's fucking incredibly good. I'm not sure. I just know that it feels a little bad putting in 40% of the effective stacks pre with 3 high. But when you have the power of the diaper and you're the GOAT on top of it, good things happen.
Yep, a goat in a diaper.
Okay. A goat in the diaper.
For your visuals.
For your visuals. So he makes it 215 at 80K big blind. Leon calls. Flop is jack high with a 3. No, sorry. 9 high with a 3, maybe. I don't know. Whatever.
7
high with a flat. Okay, with a 3. He makes a 3. And Leon leads 1 big blind, which is pretty good. This is probably gonna go check a lot otherwise. Turns the jack of hearts. He has the ace of hearts. He has nothing to fucking worry about.
Unbelievable.
Of course. So he checks. Ivey checks back. River, an innocuous deuce of spades. Can't fathom how that one bothers us. And he rips it, only to be shown the bad news that Ivey's been splashing in the Pittsburgh streets. He heard about the power of the diaper.
Yep.
I actually am really curious about this spot. I kind of wish Landon was here because I'm sure he's studied 6.5 big blind strategies more than I have, which is 0. So I don't want to comment on whether it was good or not, but it's a very, very interesting hand to say the least.
Sure.
This a similar spot to this happened to me at the first online WSOP final table I made back in COVID. It folded. I was chip leading 1 of 5, and it folded to the small blind. It was maybe 3 of 5 and limped off of 20. And I ISO'd with, I want to say 4-3 suited, which in hindsight was not good. You want to do it with some trash, but probably not that hand. He calls and it comes ace 3-4. And I just get fucked by aces.
Oh, yeah.
He plays in well. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming out of Triton. I think we get to see so much of this 3 street play with these smaller stacks. These guys are so
wild.
fucking studied and
It
good.
really is.
Everybody's just so good. They understand what to do with small stacks. And when you're not that good, you.
Bro, when I was coming up in MTTs, 20 big blinds was just, you're in for it.
Yeah.
That's a 1 street stack.
They just refuse to put their chips in the middle, free.
Yeah.
Or on the flop or on a turn. They find ways to just play these hands all the way out.
It's really a lot smaller bet sizing throughout the whole hands.
It is. Everything's a min raise. Everything's
it's very much a deep understanding of
10% to 1/4%
it's very much a deep understanding of SPR and how polarization works around it. But it does kind of carry us into the conversation with Koon as far as now that he's won his 8th Triton title. Not that 8 or 7 makes any difference. I mean, he's just piling them up at this point. He's the Phil Hellmuth of the Triton.
He is.
Is he potentially the best high stakes poker player in the world?
Currently, it's looking that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's
who's stopping him?
So I think that there's a debate.
Chidwick is up there
for a handful of other guys that are in the top 10 money list. Mm-hmm. Guys like Ike, guys like Chidwick. Yeah, they immediately come to mind.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, you're right. It's hard to say, right? Because it's such a small sample size, and it's like the ones you mentioned, Ike and Chidwick, and a handful of other ones might just be just as good, but he's maybe just on the better side of variance at the moment. It's
our industry is a little bit weird. In the sense that there are no real hard metrics other than dollars won.
Right.
And if you go by dollars won, then it's just Bonomo.
Yeah.
This is Bonomo.
Well,
like, that's it. There's no conversation, right? But we don't go by dollars won. We go by all of these other metrics that kind of come into play. And I think that they're fair to consider, right? Because survivorship bias is a thing in this industry. Variance is wholeheartedly a thing. So we don't know like how many of these dollars won are above EV or not. But we look at things like staying power and the ability to play like multiple formats, multiple game types, things like that. And the irony is that we keep landing back at like the Ivies of the world. And, you know, to some degree, maybe Negreanu and Helmuth, right? And that's not to undercut the previous list of Ike and Bonomo and Koon, because the fact of the matter is, from a technical standpoint, those guys are far and away better. There's just no debate. At the end of the day, if you put Jason against Ivey and you measure them strictly on the decisions that they make at every single point of the game tree, Jason's EV, if I had to guess, would be slightly higher.
I wonder how Jason would have played that 3 deuce.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Right?
But I just assume like if we were able to like magically upload every hand that they've played into Wizard or something that can measure EV, I imagine Jason's decisions would be slightly higher EV than Ivey's. Let's call it over the past 5 years.
Yeah.
But you have to look at the whole career, right? And that's kind of the thing. No one's going to be able to somebody will get more technically sound than Jason somewhere along the lines because he'll just not care. Like at some point he's going to get too old to care or too busy to care.
Too rich
to care. Like he has a
like
family.
I know, but like when you hear him in interviews and stuff, it seems like he's just as hungry as ever and wants to just continue to
but it's the nature of
be the best.
It's the nature of evolution of any game, right? Like you could say the same thing about Ohtani or Trout or whoever in baseball.
Okay,
at some point,
right? At some point,
you just rest on your laurels,
right?
You know, and somebody younger and hungrier and more desperate to get to where you actually are is going to try to chase you down. And the thing is like at some point, just due to the nature of how the game is evolving and how technology is evolving and everything else, some young kid that we don't know about right now is going to become more technically sound than Jason Koon and potentially be a stronger MTT player than Jason.
Landon?
But he may never get the shot. Like that's kind of the bigger picture scope of the whole thing, right? Is that nobody's going to have Jason's path again, right? Starting pre-Black Friday, where we had no fucking idea what we were doing, all the way to Black Friday, where it becomes like crunch time and you have to formulate a network, get better at the game, start studying, learning solvers, into solver era, where now you have to take in all of this new information and learn the game through a whole different lens, all the way now to graduating to high stakes and beating them, right?
Yeah.
That path is just unavailable moving forward. Now the path is going to be get really good, get really technically sound early, find backing deals, get into the high stakes arena, win more so that you can be backed less and, you know, eventually go that trajectory, right? So those paths are always going to be very different. And I think that's why we romanticize the Ivies and Negreanus and Helmuths, because they come from an era even once further removed, right? Where they're like not only pre-Black Friday, but they're pre-moneymaker. And now all of a sudden it's like they traversed a landscape that was like a very, very small gambling, seedy world into the moneymaker boom, became larger than life during the moneymaker boom, somehow managed to survive Black Friday, the introduction of solvers, the introduction of high rollers, where all of these younger guys are hungry and doing everything necessary to get more technically sound and everything else. So it's like we don't have a great measurement of who the quote unquote greatest is, but we can have a short list. And I think everybody that we named in some regard is on it.
Right. Yeah.
It's really tough to kind of like, it'll be tougher moving forward, in my opinion.
I mean, it's almost impossible just to say who's the best.
It'll always be impossible.
You'll never have a big enough sample size, I don't think.
Probably not, but like,
and
I think the point of like how technically sound Jason is, as well as a handful of others, is the direction that it's moving when it comes to measuring the benchmark of how good someone is at this game. And I think the difficulty with that is it loses sight of how the game is played outside of that arena.
Yeah.
Right? So in a game where making money is the ultimate objective, do you judge somebody based off of their technical skills to play against other people who are as technically sound as them, aka the best of the best? Or do you judge people based off of their ability to have astronomical win rates that are completely inconceivable at equilibrium?
You're talking about like the Bilzerians of the world?
Maybe
Like-
that's a bit extreme because, like, you know, that's just the world he lives in are just a bunch of people who don't know literally anything about poker.
We're talking about in a competitive format, like tournaments, people that grind.
Well, I'm largely talking about the difference between tournaments and cash.
Okay.
Right? So it's like I don't even know Jason's world. And the irony is, like, he would transition into cash just fine because he is so technically sound. But the thing is that he may have to play more hours of the same soft games in order to have the astronomical win rate, just due to the fact that quote unquote technically sound poker won't
win as much money if you're exploiting
in the short term, right? Because like the exploits are just so available and people are just doing so much there that's face up to give you money for free if you accept it. And that's not to say Jason wouldn't adjust. Of course he would.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm trying to make is I don't even know that world. Like, it's so technically precise. Like, the precision necessary to get good at high stake high rollers, where you have to learn stack depths of literally 2 big blinds up to 100 and know how to navigate them all over multiple streets and how polarization works at these different SPRs and things of that nature. I know the exact opposite of that spectrum, where I understand, at least loosely anyway, how polarization works at triple digit SPRs.
Yeah, just giga deep.
Yeah, like infinitely deep, and where the mistakes are coming from and how much win rate. And that's what I'm ultimately speaking to, I think, is that the reason these astronomical win rates exist is because people are sitting hundreds or thousands of big blinds deep, and they're making errors that are worth hundreds of big blinds in that particular node. Like, if Ivey made an error with that 3 deuce, it's probably losing like 1/100th of a big blind, right? Which is minuscule. But in a game where edges are that thin and they're razor thin, that might be the difference between breaking even and winning. You know, so I think that's like the biggest issue with us kind of creating a Mount Rushmore of professional poker players is that in the tournament scene, it's pushing so hard towards precision, and that's the way the online world's been for ages.
I think it would certainly be easier to measure in the tournament world as far as like saying ROI. Obviously, we don't have that kind of information. We don't know. Like, for instance, you look at Justin Bonomo and he's won like $60 million. Mm-hmm. There is a world where someone who's won $60 million playing tournament poker is actually stuck 20. So unless we know.
Yeah, I mean, Kerry Katz is in the top 15, maybe top 10, I think. And if I had to guess, I would bet he's around break even.
Yeah.
Right?
So it is something that's measurable. It's just we don't have access to that.
Well, everything's measurable.
Well, we would actually need to know how many buy-ins these people have had, how much they've played online. When it comes to tournament poker,
You're saying they individually know their own ROI.
Correct.
Right, but the sample's still so incredibly low. Right, and the outliers are such a huge factor. Even with a guy like Bonomo or Bryn, Bryn may be the best example. Like, his ROI is almost certain to be positive.
Yeah.
But if you look at his technical skills compared to somebody like Jason, it's night and day. Right? Jason would just eat Bryn for lunch. So when you have an outlier score of 25 million because you won the $1 million one drop, and that accounts for 45% of your overall winnings, you could never not have a positive ROI, right? Or at least unlikely in your lifetime.
Sure.
So yeah, it's one of those things. It's the great thing about sports, right? Or games in general, I guess. Chess, it's very easy to just declare who the best is.
Yeah.
It's so measurable. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just out there. All the data points are there.
Right.
We can look at every game Magnus Carlsen's ever played, run it through a sim, and know like how far away from equilibrium he operates.
You can argue for days and days on who's the best quarterback of all time, who's the best baseball player of all time.
True.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, era by era, position by position. I do think the era by era is something that is always important to add as a layer to these conversations.
If not, it just turns into a fucking screaming match.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, everything will turn into a screaming match if you're passionate enough about it. But the thing with eras is that it's really critical to recognize how far technology advances things.
Yeah.
You know, like
Baseball bats weren't the same.
Babe
60
Ruth
years
wouldn't make
ago.
a fucking team now.
Right. Yeah.
Like, there's just no shot. This guy's a slob. You know? But he was just raw natural ability amongst a bunch of other people that were operating off natural ability that was less than.
Right.
And, you know, quite frankly, if we look back to that era, everybody's natural ability was a fraction of what people's natural abilities are now, because the ability to grow and cultivate that talent is so much more magnified now.
And the talent was watered down. It was before the color barrier was broken.
Right.
Like, you know, it's just like there was so many other great ball players that weren't even allowed in the league.
I mean, that's the big thing. I had my Grays hoodie on yesterday, but shout out to the Homestead Grays. I don't think people know that was a Pittsburgh team.
Nobody knows what the fuck you were wearing yesterday.
I knew.
Homestead Grays, it was a Negro League team that had potentially...
What did you just say?
You heard what I said. They had they had potentially the greatest baseball player of all time.
Jackie Robinson?
No. Jackie Robinson was important because he broke the color barrier, not because he was the most talented.
He was up there.
He was good. He was good.
One of
We're
the
talking
best.
about errors.
Pales in comparison to Josh Gibson. Josh Gibson was statistically the greatest power hitter of all time.
Yeah.
And, you know, arguably playing in a more difficult league than what MLB
majors.
was at that point in time. So it's like, I mean, like him. There was a great movie on. It was an HBO original, I think. I can't remember the name of it, but it was about Josh Gibson, Satchel Paige, and Jackie Robinson, and it kind of like highlighted Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier while those two kind of got left behind. Eventually, I know Satchel Paige ended up playing for the Indians. I'm not sure if Josh Gibson ever made it to the pros or not. I think he may have, but it was a very short stint. Anyway,
we're on a tangent. As we do.
Of course.
I'm over here blocking people that say Ghost Stros in the chat. 2 people have been put on a 300-second timeout.
They're not even in your division, man.
I don't listen, man. These
The Yankee fans do not like
It's the Orioles team.
Now I gotta hear fucking about how the Yankees haven't made the the championship for whatever, the World Series forever because the Stros cheated us.
They did cheat you.
Like, what do you mean?
They cheated you. I can't argue that.
Yeah.
But you cheated them and took their best pitcher.
Garrett Cole?
Yeah.
They gave him away.
Yeah, now he cheats for you guys.
Fucking ridiculous, man.
He didn't cheat for us.
Well, I mean, you guys, nobody wanted to play for you guys. Cheat for you guys. Nobody even wants to fucking step on the field.
Look, he got the ball in a deciding game in the playoffs, and he shit the bed.
You guys have one of the best fucking young players in the MLB, and he literally faked an injury to sit out for the rest of the year so he doesn't have to play for your shit team.
I don't think he's wrong.
I think he shattered his ankle, guys. Let's be honest.
I don't think he's wrong.
Shout out to Neil Cruz.
Oh, Perfect Game. That's the name of it.
Thank
you, JJ. I think
Shout out
that
to
was the name
JJ.
of it. I think that was the name of it.
Love JJ.
You don't even know who that is.
Oh, JJ, Jersey Joe.
Oh.
You must be out of your fucking mind. What's poppin', Jersey Joe?
Okay. Why isn't his name Jersey Joe? That would be way better.
How many guys in Jersey do you think are named Joe? Like millions? Like 3 million people
How many
in
Jersey
Jersey
Joes
named
out
Joe?
there do you think there are?
Honestly, Jersey Joe, there's only one.
Right. Joe from Jersey.
There's a lot of Joes from Jersey, but Jersey Joe, there's one Jersey Joe.
I think there'd be a lot of Tommies as well.
Tommies, definitely. Frankies.
Tommy's out working the dock.
Polly. A lot of Pollies, a lot of Frankies.
Oh, Polly. Yeah.
Working 9 to 5. He's down on his luck. So tough.
Rough.
So tough. Conrad laughed and he didn't even know the reference.
Nah,
That's the best part of that entire exchange.
I was laughing at Tommy working at the docks.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi, baby.
Right, you don't get the reference.
Well, but
Yeah,
it's kind
shout
of
out
funny.
to John Bon Jovi.
Tell me now,
Don't.
Keep going,
We
keep
just
going,
lost-
keep going.
we just lost
Ian's
5,000
been on strike.
viewers.
Cook,
He's
baby.
down on his luck. It's tough.
This is some white people
So
shit.
tough.
Let's go. Guapo.
I said you gotta hold on
Oh my God.
to what
What is
we
happening?
got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not.
I love this thing and I won't
got
do it on
each
each.
other, and that's a lot for
love.
love.
Guapo.
We'll give it a shot. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer.
End this fucking show right goddamn now. What the fuck is going on?
It's impossible to start the lyrics of that song and,
cannot
not
finish.
have the
Yeah.
chorus break out.
So
Agreed.
Jason Koon.
He's the GOAT.
You think he's singing that song right now?
He's the GOAT. I love him. Congratulations to him on number 8. Huge shout out for all those guys out in Triton battling. I think the guy's going to win dozens. That's going to do it for us. I got to get over to the Bellagio and do the exact opposite of Jason. I got to gamble my fucking dick
Right.
off.
You're out there living on a prayer.
Every hand, man.
We also have an academy.
Every hand. We do have an academy coming up. Seats are going fast. If you guys are interested in that, head to academy.solveforwhy.io. It is a 3-day, we'll call it a fantasy camp. You come to Vegas. We teach you the game from the ground up. A lot of simple game theory heuristics to help you build a strategy that can go win in your environment. During the afternoons, you'll play, try to execute on that strategy. We'll commentate in the back, let you know what you're doing well, what you're doing poorly, and you'll have that to study with forever and ever.
Is there a dirty diaper segment?
There's no dirty diaper segment.
There might be.
Rigby's going to stay home for this one.
Can we please just get like a 30-minute fucking call in
Rigby calling? No.
Baby Dick's still
See,
in
what you
commentary.
gotta do is cuss. No.
Love Rick.
That's gonna do it for us. All right, so we'll be back again tomorrow, probably same time, as it looks like the Bellagio game is going strong this week. So look for us at 10 and let's call it 10:15 in the morning. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. Maybe Bon Jovi's greatest hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what your favorite Bon Jovi song is, and maybe we will end the show with it tomorrow. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Later, squad.
Watch Big Brother.